Happy Monday, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I've got a fun Monday music matchup for us today. We're going to take a look at Skid Row's classic, Youth Gone Wild, and we're going to compare a live version by Sebastian Bach to a recently released live version by Skid Row with Lzzy Hale fronting the band. It's going to be a fun one. I hope you're excited. Roll the credits. All right, folks, so what's a Monday music matchup? Well, that's where I take two songs or two music videos, put them head to head, see which one comes out on top. Let me be clear here. I love all artists and videos I feature on this playlist. So it's never me bagging on somebody. Let me make that clear. If they're on here, I already love them. The other thing I want to say is that I am anticipating a lot of hateful comments. Here's why. After several years of creating content here on YouTube, we've got a lot of different types of content. We do Pride Month stuff every year. We've got a lot of stuff that I have always kind of anticipated hate and pushback on, so I'm ready to curate those comments. But let me say this. The video that elicited the most hate from anyone in the entire history of Like-Minded Lunatics was a Monday music matchup where I compared Sebastian Bach to Lzzy Hale, their versions of Slave to the Grind. And you can go watch that video here. I said in that video that I thought that Lzzy did a better job than Boss, and dear God, you would have thought that I just insulted everyone's mother and religion at the same time. It was the most vitriolic comments we've ever gotten here. Not the stuff on LGBT rights, not the stuff on politics. A video about Sebastian Bach that elicited the most hate. So I'm anticipating that. So let's just make one thing clear. I love Sebastian Bach. I love him. I have loved him since he started in Skid Row. I loved him on Gilmore Girls as Gil, the old drummer. I loved him in that stupid reality show Supergroup that had Ted Nugent on there. I love Sebastian Bach. So at no point am I ever attacking either one of these artists. All right, with that out of the way, in case you didn't know, Skid Row, the last, I think, 3 or 4 performances, they've had Lzzy Hale come on and front the band. Now, for those of you who don't follow Lzzy, this might be a what the fuck moment, but it really isn't. She's been covering Slave to the Grind and her band Halestorm for many, many years, and she is a huge 80s rock fan, and so it just makes complete sense. But I thought we would put her latest, one of the latest videos I could find of her doing these shows up against Sebastian Bach at his prime. So what we're going to see is Lzzy Hale. This was in, let's see, the Riverside Casino in Iowa. This was filmed May 19th. So just... no, that's not right. That can't be right. That was on the 18th. Yeah, so 2 days before I'm filming this. And then we're going to take a look at Youth Gone Wild by Sebastian Bach in 1989 at the, what was it, the Moscow, let me see, make sure I get this right, Moscow Peace Festival. Now, if you're not familiar with the Peace Festival, I'm not going to go into the whole history of it because it does have like this huge back history to it. But it was one of the first rock concerts that was in Moscow. It had Motley Crue and Ozzy Osbourne and Bon Jovi famously fronted that festival. Skid Row was brand new at the time. In fact, their first album, the eponymously titled Skid Row, just came out that year, 1989. So what we're going to see is essentially Sebastian Bach at his most powerful. So hopefully that kind of informs this. So let me bring up the thing. And just in the interest of full disclosure, I've not seen the entire set with Lzzy, but I have seen this entire set with Boss. Not in a long time, but this aired a lot on MTV. So if you were an MTV kid, you likely have seen this performance. It was extremely famous because of the festival in Moscow. So let's go back to 1989, Sebastian Bach fronting Skid Row, Youth Gone Wild.
This is a song for all the people who have ever been put down or shut up or told what to do. You are the youth gone wild!
All right, I'm going to stop it. People are going to get mad at me. It's stopping. But I don't know what it's like for you. I don't know how old you are. But hearing sustained yells in studio versions of stuff, it's almost always sweetened. That was just unbridled power by Boss at the beginning of that. How amazing is that? Now, let's be clear here. Boss is just barely 21 at this point. So his vocal cords are probably in the best shape they've ever been at this point. They haven't done a whole lot of touring at this point, so he hasn't really run them ragged. So he's at the peak power of Sebastian Bach. But man, that was an impressive yell.
Since I was born, they couldn't hold me down. Another misfit kid, another burned out town. I never played by the rules, I never really cared. My nasty reputation, 'cause I can't see, it's not let me know. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the youth, the ways that I am. But they come up from the child, spend our lives on trial. So we are the youth, we stand and we won't fall. We're walking the wall for all the Russians on the wall. We are the youth, God wild.
All right, we'll stop it right there. God almighty, what a powerful beginning. Now, again, the interesting thing about this festival is that Skid Row was the new kid on the block at this point, and the only reason they were on this tour is that their manager, Doc McGee, was also the manager of Bon Jovi, and that's how they got on the tour. And there was actually a good bit of animosity between the bands because Skid Row was on this tour. Sebastian Bach sounds fantastic. You know, in later years, Boss has had a little bit of trouble getting the same energy while still running around on stage because he is a dynamic performer. And obviously, that takes a lot of breath, man, doing what he's doing and running around. So there are a lot of times in later recordings, live ones, where Boss has trouble balancing that, being dynamic and performing. He doesn't here. He's running around. There's like 2 or 3 times where I thought, man, you probably could have had a better breath there, Boss, but damn. All right, let's go over to Skid Row with Lzzy Hale. It was 2 days ago. Now, let's be clear. Boss was barely 21 at this point over here. Lizzy's 40. So I think we should take that into account. Here's one of the things that I love about both Boss and Lzzy is that they know when to go clean in the vocals, and then they know when to fry and scream. And it's hard to hear in Sebastian's verse. He's doing it too. There's a great example here. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. There's a moment where Lzzy does vibrato and then she fries out. The control you have to have over your voice to do that is amazing, especially as a 40-year-old. But man... the way she does the vibrato on that is beautiful. Let's go back. Where are you at? Damn. I don't know. I think it's amazing that Lzzy has been able to keep her voice in as good of shape as it is. It is still just extremely powerful. I've been a fan of her for many, many years, and there was a point in time where she Sorry, had a camera thing happen. What was I saying? Yeah, there's a point in time where Lzzy started consciously taking better care of her voice. She journaled about it. Apparently, on tour all the time, food's terrible, you drink a little too much, you do this and that, and your voice starts to go away. And she started noticing that happening, and she noticed it very young, too. I think she was in her late 20s, maybe mid-30s, and so she just stopped drinking on tour, started making sure that she took care of her voice, doing voice exercises and stuff, and I think that's, you have to do that. And thankfully she did. But boy, 2 powerful performances thus far. We're about halfway through, a little less, but man, I don't know where I'm at. So good.
A boss screaming in my ear about who I'm supposed to be. Get a big piece Wall Street style, son, you look just like me. I said, hi, my own mouth's coming, you wanna know what I'm telling you? Fuck out of here, it's just wrong. 'Cause I look and see, it's not a let me know.
And can we take, I know this is about the singers, but boy, Snake is badass player. Hitting those harmonics on that. Fucking amazing.
It's all, they never doubt. We are the youth, so shut it out. They call us problem child, spend our lives on trial, walking endless mile. We are the youth, we stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all, the writings on the wall. We are the youth,
See, that's what I mean. I would have liked that yell a little bit better. You know what I mean? I feel like Sebastian was jumping and oh shit, I got that part. Let me get loud. Shit, I missed it. I feel like that happened. And I mean, who wouldn't it happen to? You're in front of several 100,000 people in one of the most historical concerts in rock and roll history. I get it, but come on, damn it. Yeah, I wanted the wild a little bit better, but all right. I feel like that was him making up for that. Don't you? He was like, fuck, I missed it. And so he uses the guitar solo and then he belts that out. Let's hear it again.
all right, let's sing this finale. I want to see all the hands in the air. Let's go. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial, walking endless mile. We are the youth. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. Writings on the wall. We are the youth.
And the man's full on running and doing that. Amazing, amazing. I mean, the song is Youth Gone Wild, and I think that does show us that, boy, when you're young, take advantage of that, because that shit goes away, folks. I mean, if you look online at recent videos of Sebastian Bach singing, the man's almost 60. And, a life of not exactly clean living, let's just say that, and you expect the voice kind of goes away, and you go in the comments and people are like, retire, give it up. You know what? Fuck you. He's still out there doing it. It's not like he's forgetting the words and stuff like Vince Neil. So what? He can't do this anymore. He's almost 60 years old, and not exactly clean living. So rock on, boss.
We are the youth. Come
we go. Boss puts that exclamation point on it. Man, what a good concert. All right, let's go back to Lzzy. I love her when she does like the throat singing, the me. Boy, she puts it, you can tell the power's coming from like right here. It's beautiful. I have to say, I wasn't impressed with Lzzy's let's get wild part. Both of them. I feel like they both weren't, they didn't properly anticipate that point, I feel like. Damn it. And they could have, both of them, had the power to do it. We're one and one for all. God dog, Lzzy. Man, what a performance by both of them. You know, and again, it's a matchup. I usually try to pick which one I like better, which one I think was the best performance. In this one, you know, it's really hard to beat Sebastian Bach at his full power. You know, I think I'm going to go Boss on this one. His performance at that Moscow Music Peace Festival is just absolutely legendary. Fantastic performance. But Lzzy Hale ain't no slouch either. Again, at 40 years old, Jesus, she should not still be able to sing like that. Please take care of your voice, Liz. God, sounds fantastic. You know, I've read some comments online from old people like me who were fans of Skid Row back in the day about, well, they bringing in this girl and all this kind of stuff. What do you want from them? Skid Row, Snake and the boys, they want a front person. They want to continue touring. They want to continue doing these songs, and they want to continue doing them in a way that makes fans happy. So what do you expect them to do? Just go, well, I guess we're just done. Yeah, they got to bring back Boss. I don't know that that's going to happen. If you read the history of that, boy, oh boy, they had a big falling out. If you're unaware, apparently Sebastian Bach had talked to Kiss. This was during the grunge era. Boss had talked to Kiss and had agreed that Skid Row would open for Kiss. Got to do something. It's grunge, and this type of music is no longer in fashion. So you got to do something. Who else? Who has a bigger audience than Kiss? Built-in audience. So we're gonna go on tour with Kiss. Apparently Snake found out about it, didn't like the fact that Boss had agreed to do that, and they got in a huge fight about it. And Snake was like, never working with this guy again, ever. And they haven't. They haven't. So I don't know that that's ever going to happen. And Boss wasn't even their first singer. Read the history of the band. They had a singer before Sebastian Bach, and they've been through multiple since him. So I don't know if that's happening. I want to hear these songs continue being played and sang by the best voices out there. Can't get any better than Lzzy Hale. So let us know in the comments what you think about this one. Hopefully I don't get any hateful shit like I did last time. If I do, I'm just deleting it, folks. Just so you know, if you go down in the comments and you're like, boy, Like Minded Lunatics, they don't get a lot of hateful comments. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we do. It's just I get rid of them. It's kind of like inviting somebody over, having a party, and having somebody that's talking shit at your party. They don't come to future parties. Same thing here. You come to our channel and you act a fool, you just get deleted and banned. That's just how that works. All right, folks, let us know in the comments what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the outro. All right, folks, I mentioned that this Moscow Peace Festival had a storied past. It's kind of a legendary thing, so I thought I'd use the outro to talk about it. It didn't really fit in the reaction itself, but I thought I would use the outro to talk a little bit about it. So apparently there was a lot of infighting about who was going to go first on this tour. This tour was also kind of credited for kind of breaking up the glam era. Because all these bands just got in huge fights. It was also a little bit hypocritical, because a lot of this festival was advertised as the funds were going through to drug prevention programs and rehab programs and stuff like that. And apparently the acts on tour consumed more drugs than any bands in history. So that was a little bit controversial. But then Motley Crue was very unhappy with how this tour came about, and they were also unhappy with the fact that that Bon Jovi was the headliner. Apparently, I'll read this part to you. Motley Crue have been on record stating they were upset with Doc McGee, who was their manager, and Bon Jovi's manager, and Skid Row's manager. They felt McGee was favoring Bon Jovi, who he also managed, and who the Crue disdained. They got mad because Bon Jovi was allowed to use pyrotechnics, which they were told they were not allowed to do. Sebastian Bach says that at one point Tommy Lee went over to Doc McGee and went over to him and told him that your manager is a fucking asshole, talking about Doc McGee. And he chugged most of a bottle of vodka that Sebastian Bach had been drinking. Then Tommy ran over to Doc McGee, punched him in the face, and told him he could go manage the Chipmunks. Fucking rad, Tommy, because he was no longer Motley Crue's manager. Bon Jovi fired him as well shortly afterwards, and Lee and his bandmates were still so angry, they refused to even fly home on the same plane as Doc McGee. Don't you wish you had a camera in the back for that? The other interesting thing about this festival is that the Scorpions were on the bill, and you can go over here and watch my deep dive into Winds of Change, but this was the tour that inspired them to write Wind of Change. Also, there's a conspiracy theory that the Scorpions have continually denied that the whole concert was a CIA plan to get American music over into the then was it USSR at that time? Yeah, it was still USSR, into the USSR. So that was a whole conspiracy theory. Anyway, if you've got time, read up on this stupid thing. It's a fascinating piece of rock and roll history. Hopefully you've checked out some of our other stuff, subscribed, and all that type of stuff. All right, see you later.